2, and we got a really exciting show planned as part of the Love and Freedom Show. I'm
Yes,
Kyle
sir.
Kemper, and
And I am Sunny Ray.
here we are. We were going to just do a kind of like just a recap show talking about different things, but
Hmm.
the way the kind of universe unfolds, we've got there's like it just broke like an hour ago that GoFundMe has decided they are have suspended the Freedom Convoy campaign, and you can no longer donate to it, and the funds are under review. And so this is opens up kind of a bigger topic. We're going to bring a couple of our friends slash guests on to discuss this, and discuss some possible solutions. But before we do that, Sonny, you wanted to mention a couple wins that we've got today. What are you talking about?
Wins. So, well, I mean, there's so many. There's literally like 100 different things like that happened across Canada, right? But some of the bigger ones I would say was, what was it? The one in Quebec where they said no more vax pass, but then no more vax tax rather, but then they said something else. I don't know. It's always like a little bit of sleight of hand, like, okay, we'll listen to you here, and then we'll screw you over there. The other thing was, I think in Alberta, Saskatchewan. There was a definite win there. I think yesterday or whatever, where the main man said that they're going to be opening things up, and it just didn't make sense anymore. So that I thought was pretty big. And then Alberta was the third one that I've been looking at very closely, and really, really heated situation. You sent me some of those videos of like tractors, like essentially just making their way
Yeah,
around
I mean,
barricades and just
there's an
crazy
incredible
stuff.
video on my Twitter of them going around and the floating around of like the farm trucks and tractors and
And then
trailers busting through.
44
And you
RCM.
and
Sorry,
you know
sorry.
where
Go
that
ahead. Go ahead. Go
was?
ahead.
You know
Yeah,
where
yeah,
that
yeah.
was? That was like all. If you look at the cops in that thing, there says sheriff on them. We don't have sheriffs in Canada. That means it was on the other side of the border.
Mm.
And they were trying to get to the border, and
A lot of craziness at the
which
border.
which
That
is
Alberta thing was like really heated with the dudes that were singing "Oh Canada," and when the RCMP had them cornered, there was like some like 44 units, and they just literally unarmed. They just started screaming freedom. It was beautiful. I've been going off on that, so maybe we can touch on some of
And
that
then there's
tomorrow as well.
another win today too. The controlled opposition leader,
Yes, yes.
Aaron
There you go.
O'Toole,
The tool.
he held a secret vote once amongst his caucus,
Useless, that
and
guy.
does not have
Useless.
confidence in his caucus. So he
Yeah.
is stepped down as leader. An interim leader will be announced. Apparently, it's going to be. I mean, I've heard rumblings that Pierre Poilievre for some
Here,
reason
obviously,
can't,
right?
but Pierre Poilievre actually for some reason can't be the interim leader. He'll
Okay.
be kind of going in the main for the
Oh,
main leadership. But that begs some really big questions about why
okay.
he can't be the interim leader. It makes the most sense he like right now for the party.
I,
But
I'll be honest. I don't know much about other than what I learned in elementary school about the government. I don't know too much about it. Not today because I know we're going to talk about something else, right? But in one of our sessions, we should also do a bit of a deep dive in terms of like how the hell the government even works and like what does even these things mean? Like, because from what I heard, this is pretty big, right? Like I don't think it's ever happened like where a leader was like kicked out by his own people, or something like that. I don't know. But then
well, I
again, I'm
mean, it
not.
just shows a lack of a loss of confidence, and
Hmm,
people see through it, and it's going to
right.
be really important that like the next person that like the interim leader, and then obviously
Hmm,
the leadership. But again, this is like dealing with this existing system, and like
hmm.
the improvements that are going to happen within it. But what what we want to talk about today is the future systems, and like a better systems and more appropriate systems, and looking at DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations. So on that note,
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
bring in our
yeah.
guest.
Let's bring in our guest. Let's bring in our guest. But before even DAOs, Kyle, we got to talk about the elephant in the room, which is Bitcoin, right? Like again. So okay, so what is so just to hey guys, what's up? So let's first say hello. We have Corey and we have Ant Dow. We have Antoine with us. You guys want to introduce yourselves real quick? Corey? You want to take it over?
Yeah, sure, man. So yeah, my name is Corey. I'm from Ontario. Big into crypto. I kind of just stumbled upon this opportunity to be on this podcast about 10 minutes ago. Actually, luckily enough, I just responded to a tweet from Kyle,
Love
and
it.
it seems like the universe kind of threw this together. And
Conspires in our
no,
favor.
yeah, no, I think it's going to be a really interesting conversation, just because things you were touching on with with the Freedom Convoy's GoFundMe funds being frozen, and that was kind of just a matter of time, in my opinion. And I think the DAOs are going to be a huge solution
Do you
for
mind
this, and
repeating what you were saying
super
earlier to ask
timely.
about how this was like, I don't know, something that, I don't know, the first time I think you said you felt proud in a long time, or I forget what the words you used were, but you were saying how happy you were about all this.
Yeah, and I think that this is probably pretty common with a lot of Canadians too, right? Like everybody that was at the Freedom Convoy, I heard this, many times just from some of the gatherings that I was at. I went to one in North Bay and I went to another one in Toronto, and so, anyways, I mean, obviously this has just been such a poor mismanagement with so many other, like, I'm obviously okay. I'm okay with the idea of keeping people safe, but I just think that the cost benefit analysis of what we're doing is just completely skewed to, I mean, way more harms to what we're doing to society. So, yeah, like once you see, this truckers convoy and like what an incredible, display of leadership and courage that it takes to do that and to organize that. Yeah, it really does make me proud to be Canadian, like for the first time in, over a year. And I love this country, man. I grew up here my entire life, and I was a hockey player. Like I love everything about Canada. Man. It's the best, and I haven't been proud to be Canadian. And I know a lot of people have said that. And yeah, so specifically with the DAO, it's like, I think it is just an essential piece of technology that's, just so timely in what's going on right now, that could just provide such a unique solution.
And we're gonna jump into that, Corey.
We're gonna talk about that. Antoine, you want to?
Amen. I feel the same way. Like, I feel really proud to be Canadian, and then for the first time in a long time, I want to be in Ottawa. I wish I were in Ottawa, but I can't go back and forth because of other reasons right now.
Me too. Yeah.
Antoine. So Antoine, you are like, you've been a great friend for a super long time. Say what's up. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I'm Antoine. I'm a blockchain developer, Canadian. I'm not an expert in DAOs yet, but I'll contribute what I can, as we talked about.
Indeed, and then we're talking about like the some of the fundamentals of like what DAOs represent and how we can look at decentralized governance structures. But before we get into that, I think we should talk about the GoFundMe itself.
Yeah.
So this GoFundMe raised over $10 million. It broke the 10 million
insane
like level earlier today or yesterday.
Holy.
And it was, so GoFundMe is a private corporation that allows for anybody to donate to causes. We know what it is, but they hold on to the funds on behalf of people, and then they distribute it to to the organizers. And most of the time, it's just small causes, it's individuals. But this one got incredibly powerful. Like this one, like took on a life of its own. And then with the political, affiliation to this, and the demands for censorship, as they started pressing on, and like the powers that be, applying pressure, because it's a private corporation, they're acting as a custodians for people. They can make the arbitrary decision to shut it down. And they've shut it down. And now I think it was made public that $1 million was distributed of the pot. I don't have any verification of that, but there's $9 million that GoFundMe is sitting on right now, and they're probably collecting money on that. So they're making money on that money, and they're holding on to it, and they're not going to release it until they go through their own review. And hopefully, there's enough kind of outcry from freedom-loving people of the world to say, release the funds and get them going. But at the core, we have a challenge here, because with this is a cause, this is a movement. It's raising capital from the people, and it's going into this purse. And then there's the ability for censorship on behalf of the corporation. Now, with decentralization and with Bitcoin, one of the things Sonny was saying was, well, why don't you just have a Bitcoin address, right? We could just do this with a Bitcoin address.
I mean, we should admit that does solve a big part of the problem, right? Meaning, if we just provided them with a Bitcoin address, multi-sig that baby up, they could have governance, as in governance does happen within communities like this as well, with just normal tools, like meaning you don't need a smart contract is my point.
Exactly.
Now it helps because to be credible, we have to call a spade, and I'm just saying Bitcoin does solve 90% of the problem, which is what people from a decentralized world being able to, you know, put money into a wallet. Like I said, that like, I think fundamentally from first principles, it solves a big problem. Now try and sell me on why DAOs are gonna solve the world's problem with the truckers, because I'm not fully getting it yet, just like NFTs.
Right. So, like, you know, from that perspective, so the like a Bitcoin wallet, if they just had a standard Bitcoin wallet that was the trucker convoy wallet, literally everybody in Canada could print out the QR code, and they
Yeah.
could go to a Bitcoin ATM, put a $20 bill in, send it to the QR code, boom,
Boom.
done.
Lovely.
Done. Super simple,
Period.
super amazing.
Period.
Now
Yeah.
it comes, and then the key is whoever has the keys to that
Mm.
wallet gets to dictate where the funds get sent to.
Yeah,
So in a
exactly.
single wallet, in like a single signature wallet, which is what
Mm.
most people use, if you have funds on that, you can be able to sign transactions to move the funds off that wallet to another one.
Right.
Now, that's good for individuals who want to be in control of their keys and use Bitcoin. But when you talk about an organization, when you have multiple people involved, this is where something called multi-sig comes into play. And what multi-sig is, it stands for multiple signatures. It's a multiple signature wallet. Just like you know, you've probably seen like in the movies, they're like, okay, you want to fire the nukes, you got to put the two keys in at the same time and turn them. And like, you know, in order to fire them. Well, that's the same kind of way that the multi-sig wallet works. One person can't send all the funds from one address to another, because, you know, if I'm a big company and I have one person has the keys, they could send it and they could send it to themselves to a discrete address or somebody else, and they could like defraud. So you need to have a layer of protection. So with a multi-sig wallet, you can have multiple people to be able to sign off on a transaction. And you know, this is one of the great opportunities here. Sorry, Sonny, what are you showing here?
Oh no, I was gonna say Greg Foss just tweeted this like minutes before we went live, which is Bitcoin for truckers. They raised 22 million sats. It looks like there's, I don't know again how credible it is, but it looks like there's already some movement to like get Bitcoin into the hands of truckers to solve this problem. But like I said, I do think like decentralized governance and that idea is interesting. It's just like I don't know about what are the platforms that work,
totally.
blah blah blah. So yeah.
So the like in my opinion, why we'd want to have, if you want to just kill that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
One of the reasons why you'd want to have like, you know, a DAO on this is because it helps with the governance of it. When you have many stakeholders, one of the challenges of a multi-sig wallet, it doesn't really work well past about 10 in terms of co-signers. So you can have a multi-sig wallet that's like a 2 of 3 or a 2 of 2 or 2 of 5 or 3 of 5, which means you need two. If it's a 2 of 3, for example, there's 3 people that hold keys, and then there's 2 people that it requires 2 signatures in order to move the funds. Now, but when you've got a lot of different people involved, you might want to have some sort of, you know, governance model to make the decisions. So, you know, what becomes possible with you know, with the DAO is you can have that crypto wallet, but then that's being kept by stewards, and then decisions can be made in a by a DAO about where the funding gets spent. Does that, like, what do you think, Corey? What do you think, Antoine?
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good description of kind of the problem that it's trying to solve. I mean, kind of, you said it, like, you know, multi-signature. Essentially, I think the big thing is that these are self-executing smart contracts. So, I mean, compliance to any type of contract that the group decides on is just baked in. So there is no, you know, third-party lawyers that you need to consult, right? Because the compliance is just in the code as to what is going to happen, you know, if the result of the vote were to be this way or the other. I mean, it's completely transparent on-chain democracy. So, I mean, it's kind of just, yeah, the next frontier of I guess getting a group together and organizing how you're going to manage a bunch of capital.
Right. Like, yeah. So let me try and, like, you know, digest that a little bit. So let's say every trucker has one vote, and there's, like, you know, some process towards vetting that you're a trucker, and you get a token that represents, like, you know, one vote on this. And then organizers or truckers themselves or other people could be able to submit like, a request for funding. And let's say there's a funding pool that holds on to the funds. And then the DAO, the organization, like based on votes, can take in requests through a predefined agreement or structure, and then they can vote on it. And if it's voted and if it passes, then automatically the funds would be distributed to the requester's wallet so that they can pursue whatever type of action they're doing. So in the case of the truckers, just to give you an example, for example, let's say, the truckers wanted $10,000 to bring in a full ice rink, like, full boards, to erect boards on Wellington Street to host a hockey tournament, like, as an example. If they agreed on it, if there was enough votes to agree on it, they say, yes, I'll do that. And then the funding would be released. And then whoever was like petitioning to make that thing reality would then use the funds, maybe convert the funds or send the funds to, the group that would actually, install, said hockey rink. But then there becomes a bigger question of, will every trucker actually make the actual vote to like, to give assent to that? And then there becomes an opportunity for delegation of votes. So, I was speaking with Pat King earlier, who's one of like, the organizers of the whole Freedom Convoy. And, I think he's got a really good head on his shoulders. And I think a lot of other people trust him. So they could delegate their vote to Pat. So like, he would be able to like, vote on these things, and he might represent 10% or 20%, or like if he had a super like a full mandate 100%, he could unilaterally do it. But if he made a vote and people didn't agree with that, then they could repeal their vote from him. So what that does, it holds decision makers accountable. And this is kind of a nice segue, because I think there's an opportunity to utilize a DAO within the Freedom Convoy as an example for how we can run a CanadaO, for how we can actually
Yes.
reorganize the entire Canadian governance model that has inherent accountability and transparency within it. And the funds, Bitcoin is perfect for like, holding on to funds and for raising funds, because you could still have the address that everybody's going to. And then you could have an elected council that hold on to the keys, if you will, or you can put the actual key management right into the DAO using programming and coding, so that when something's approved, it automatically, like the funds automatically get transferred out. That's where
How do you see like a DAO working for Freedom Convoy like right now? I can't think of any way that I would do it right now. I'm not like the most expert in DAOs, but I feel like it'd be very difficult to get a bunch of people who are not familiar with crypto to participate in it and successfully participate in it and make decisions that way. Like it would be a very, very difficult thing to do, from what I can tell.
Well, if I could just interject, I don't think it would actually be
on a small scale, but I mean, it's just something that Kyle brought up. I was just wondering.
Yeah, I don't think it would honestly be that difficult. Like there's lots of programs that kind of build the DAOs for you. I think, just in its simplest form, just
I think
the
it might be
ability
difficult to get people to participate in it.
Well, this is where it comes to user experience, and because it might be difficult to do that, doesn't mean we shouldn't try. Because in trying, we can understand the flows. Because it might be a little bit complicated right now, like in order to use MetaMask and to sign transactions, etc., or however it is. But by exploring and looking and casting out that ideal outcome of a DAO, I think is a better solution than two organizers holding on to a kitty of $10 million on behalf of the people in a centralized organization that can copy it. So it's like, we right now are in the ideation phase and trying to like, build a strategy and understand, what a product or the solution might look like. And, just by casting into the ether that this is something like, the universe
Yeah,
has
I agree.
connected, Corey and I here, and like, and we are having this discussion right now. So let's open up this discussion and let's start like thinking about it, because I don't think that like, and this is where through radical collaboration, like, I don't own a truck, I can't be there, I'm not a trucker, but I support the trucker, and this is about unity. So it's like, how can us as technologists like come and decentralists come and contribute what we can towards helping build these new structures for tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So, just for example, right? Like, if everyone wanted to vote on this network, they would have to have Ether, right?
Well,
No, there's
Or
ways to do it off chain. You don't need ether.
you don't need Ether as well. So okay. So in my mind, you'd have like phases, right? So phase one would be, like I said, is like a simple, like, because they have to solve their problem right now. They have $10 million, and let's just assume that they lose and the funds get returned to the people. Those people still want to give money to this cause, if not perhaps even more so now. What I was suggesting is like everywhere in the world you can buy Bitcoin. You could just simply create a Bitcoin wallet, create a website where they have a little meter. It shows, their goal is 11 million. They're trying to get, they're at 90 percent, whatever. But like, that's all you would need. And that would take like, I mean, ideally, I don't think that would take long, right? Like a simple, and then you have like whatever the 2 organizers plus add 5 more. I think what Bitcoin has 7 up to 7, right? Multi-sig. And then the next phase would be like, okay, now let's architect what's like that dream solution, right? But then before you get to the dream solution, because that's obviously not going to happen anytime soon, because that's going to take time, you do something in between, which is like a prototype that maybe marries like an off-chain versus on-chain, or like something that's really centralized on a normal server. Because like I said, all these, like, dude, you vote on a picture on Facebook. Voting is not difficult. Like, that is literally like Reddit is voting. Like, so that stuff, you don't need a smart contract, is my main point. Now, to prove authenticity, though, that people hold the keys, even that stuff, that's like KYC. We do that a lot at my company, right? Like that stuff has nothing to do with the blockchain as well. So I'm just saying identity and all that stuff can be solved, but I do see where your point is like more long-term, and wherever your keys, your this and that, there's like, but the problems can all be solved fairly quickly.
Yeah, they can.
You don't need to wait like 6 months.
We're in, it's 2022. Like, there are governance software solutions out there that are not on chain, and there are some that are on chain.
What are they? Antoine,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, like Corey said, it's pretty easy to set up. The one I'm familiar with is Snapshot.
Snapshot? You told me about that. Snapshot? So what that's like a website where you go and you just put in the parameters and it quickly whips up a DAO for you?
Snapshot.org is a very, like, it's I mean, it's not really like a full-fledged DAO in the sense that people think about. It's just like a basic proposal system. And so what you can do is you can set it up so that people can vote with their token balance or their NFT balance. You can set that up however you want. You can have like 1 token or 1 NFT per person. And then you just set up the rules for who's able to submit a proposal. And then once the proposal is submitted, then anybody can go and vote on it. So the thing about these proposals is that they're not automatically enforced. So you guys were saying how like proposals and stuff can be automatically enforced. In this case, it's not automatically enforced. Like, it has to be enforced by like the multi-stakeholders, basically. Just click on one of those. You'll see there's like proposals in there.
Exactly. And I had it like, there, and right on there is Gitcoin. And for example, like Gitcoin is it's a DAO, and it's really, it's probably like one of the best examples out there. And
so even Gitcoin uses Snapshot. I'm not sure if this is all they use, but they're definitely using Snapshot.
And so I'll just like speak too about like, next steps as well. So like, in less than 2 weeks, ETH Denver is starting. which is one of the biggest like, you know, smart contract DAO conferences on the planet. It's in my opinion, I've been
it's a
to it.
hackathon.
I was at it. It's a hackathon. It's amazing. It's so awesome. So it's
Yeah.
like, you know, and I believe there's probably also going to be like, you know, a virtual component to it as well. And this is a
I'm
fantastic.
going to Denver.
You're going. So it's
There
like,
you
know,
go.
like
You got
Antoine
Antoine
you can
wins every
go.
time he competes.
You
so
can
I don't
go.
win every time.
But you can also go with, like, you know, with the trucker DAO being like, you know, being
the
a project.
Canada, the
Yeah,
Canada.
I actually like that idea.
The trucker DAO or the Canada DAO,
Dude,
and like,
and
you know,
then
and
Kyle, you got
encouraging
me to
people
get Canada. You got me to get Canada.org. Remember, like
right. I
3
know
months
we
ago?
have Canadao.org too, and like that.
Oh,
But
perfect.
again,
I
the
was sharing that
Canadao, the Canadao is
Canadao.
that is one of the later steps. But honestly, like,
Yeah.
we should start out building it, and like we just registered that, and like, you know, this is something that, you know, ideally in the spirit of decentralization and transparency, I want to help. I want to serve in helping understand our ideal outcomes and facilitating like project management towards seeing this realized. But ultimately, like, you know, we need to have a community of people coming together and jamming and figuring out and building and testing and
So
and
yeah, like you made a great point. Like, just because it's hard doesn't mean we shouldn't try. So I think we can try to create like a trucker DAO or convoy DAO or something. I highly doubt that we'll be able to access the Kickstarter funds for that at all, but we can probably raise some new funds.
I think
yeah,
so.
well,
I think so.
and you know, and I think a lot of people too would probably start requesting refunds from that GoFundMe, and, you know, be willing to donate them elsewhere. And I know that, like, you know, I think as well, like, you know, with something as simple as just a Bitcoin address,
True.
like, you know,
Yeah.
and you get the
True.
Bitcoin community, which is honestly is rooted in liberty and freedom.
Oh yeah.
I
Bro,
think,
that's
you know,
all we need.
like,
All we like, I would say right away, like as fast as humanly possible, ideally before the end of this call, we get a freaking Bitcoin address that we start putting towards
for sure.
this initiative. Like, we're not going to keep the money; it's going towards, you know, helping the truckers.
Right.
But getting that going ASAP, I think, is key. And then,
and
you know,
all we need is a
multi-sig
QR code. Ultimately, like, you know, from a messaging point of view, and like and like, you know, assisting, it's like there's got to be like a clear understanding of who have the keys, because that's one of the things that is super. It must be really clear about, like, people sending Bitcoin, like who's it's going to, and it's like making sure that however that key structure is set up, that it's clear. But at the end of the day, all we need is a QR code. Just need a QR code. A QR code that represents that address, and then have that, like, you know, really like sent out and propagated and messaged, like, you know, attach it to every single, like, you know, stick that QR code on every single Bitcoin ATM in the country, just so anybody can go there and instantly, well, there's ways to do it, but
Yeah.
you know, anybody could just show their code
you
on
know,
the
there's
phone.
the 3 organizers that did their interview yesterday or whatever. You know, there's the guy from Toronto. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting, I'm bad with names. There's a lady, Tamara, who's like the kind of the face of the thing, and then there's, I think, a third gentleman who really kind of instigated it on social media. It could be like literally like the 4 of us and those 3. Like, to just start with, you could just have 7, like 4 of 7 to sign off. Just to start, right? And then you can hand it off to whoever, to Chris Sky or whatever, whoever maybe
No
everybody
way.
votes and, or maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. But my point is, we can just start this literally like ASAP, because
Let's do it.
multi-sig Bitcoin is like a
Why not?
joke. It's like my
Well, and like the one that you were showing earlier, can you pull that one back up? Because, like, you know, was that a Lightning one? Because if it's a Lightning one, I mean, look, Lightning is really great and all, but that's another layer of complexity for
what
the
are you
average
talking
user.
about? What I showed, I was showing Snapshot, which is what.
No,
Anton
you
was
were
talking
you were showing the one that's already reached its goal. It raised 22 million sats.
Oh, that was, you know Greg Foss, right?
Right. Well, and like, I don't know. I'm part of some, like, you know, Bitcoin Canada groups too, and it's like, you know, it's like, let's look. I know of Greg Foss. Yeah, we're connected with him.
Okay,
but I'm just
no,
wondering,
he
is
was
it a
saying that-
Lightning solution, or is it
That's a good question.
a
I
raw
don't-
Bitcoin
I
solution?
don't know. That's a good
Well, raw Bitcoin is the transactions are actually quite cheap right now, so it's better use that. Like, if we're
I
talking,
mean, it's
Yeah,
Way
they're like
better
You could
to
have
use.
both. You could have a Bitcoin address, you could have a Lightning address, you could have an Ethereum address, you could have all these.
Yeah, you can have all,
I
right?
say
all the
I say both.
If whatever
Yeah, exactly,
USDC,
both.
however they want, like we could. That's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
easy
yeah.
peasy. But the question is, what is the platform that people like? What is the GoFundMe crypto version of GoFundMe or the Bitcoin? Yeah, crypto version of GoFundMe. What is it? How can there not be that? If not, Antoine, let's get that shit done.
No, I think there is. So essentially, I think what
Okay,
we could
thank
use
you,
is
Corey.
Aragon
Beat you
DAO,
to it.
and you
What?
can make it very simple. I think you could use Aragon DAO.
Okay,
So
talk
have
to
a look
me.
at
So where
that.
do I go?
Do they
AragonDAO.org?
provide you with like what kind of crypto addresses can you fund from there?
So I believe it's just an Ethereum from that
Yeah,
DAO,
yeah.
and I agree with you guys in the sense that all we really need is an Ethereum address or a Bitcoin address to just get this started.
both.
I'm glad
Yeah.
that you guys have premeditated the Canada DAO idea, and that could be like an end goal for it. Like there's really unlimited possibilities, but at the end of the day, I think we do just need to, I really want to get it started too, and just
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm all
save
about like
this
now.
movement.
I'm like I
Yeah.
don't want to be
Now that-
doing something that's 6 months from
forget the
now. No
I
way.
agree.
Like
Just-
let's say we walk into Ottawa in 2 days and there's already a problem solved, and the 10 million now is 100 million they've raised in Bitcoin all over the world.
Then
I mean, it
Dogecoin.
could be insane.
I
But
think
yeah,
I think maybe like how do we start this? Like I think honestly, I think we just need to maybe define who the people that we would allow to hold the private keys, and then just start like an Ethereum address as well as a Bitcoin address, and then just start from there.
I mean, just to show how
Um,
easy it is, Antoine.
Yeah, yeah.
First of all, what is the website or whatever like that somebody would use to start this process? Like, I guess what I'm trying to ask is, what wallet has multi-currency and ideally, like, I can't
So
believe there's
when
no
you
website.
when we talk about multi-sig, it gets really challenging. That's why it's like, Bitcoin right now I think is
Well, there
just,
should be a good
So then
wallet.
Bitcoin. Let's just keep it to Bitcoin. So what's the best
So-
multi-sig Bitcoin wallet?
I mean, I think Copay is like, the one of the
Go with
easiest
that.
ones to
That's it.
use.
Yeah.
Like
is
Copay.
legit, but how do I not know the answer to this? Yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
Copay is legit. And then like, if Sonny, you want to have like, a tracking thing that's like, showing like the GoFundMe style, well, then that's just a little bit of dev work that needs to take place to monitor that Bitcoin address and see how, and basically because everything's on the blockchain. So every time a transaction goes to it, it's basically like, you can just link to that actual page, or you can build your own page that is referencing, the funds on that wallet, the funds collected, the funds dispersed. And it's like, because with the Copay, with the GoFundMe, you don't see how much the funds have been dispersed. So, but with
Yeah. No, that's really critical. Yeah, definitely.
with a blockchain address or with a Bitcoin address, you can see all the dispersions that have happened out of it. So this is a really great example for why it would. And I think so. A lot of Canadians do have Bitcoin, and are familiar with that. And there's lots of on ramps and off ramps for Bitcoin. So that makes more sense. And I think as part of the freedom movement as well should be freedom from the money masters. And so this could be a very a very powerful initiative
I
to make truckers crypto savvy and make just general freedom loving Canadians crypto savvy, and getting basically, and this is an invitation to connect. And people want to have incentives as to why they do it. Well, freedom is the one incentive to do it. The other one is money, and knowing that the flow of funds in a censorship resistant way.
So what if we created the address, created a Copay multi-sig address, and
Wait,
then
can I ask you guys a question? Sorry to interrupt. Do you know what Electrum is?
yeah, Electrum is another alternative that we can do multi-sig on.
I mean, I'm a big fan of Copay, BitGo, and all. I mean, BitGo, yeah, no, BitPay rather. But I was gonna say the one that I was trying to remember was actually this guy
Electrum
here.
would work too, yeah.
We can use any, but I downloaded Electrum.
I mean, the nice thing about Copay is it's a mobile wallet. It's got a really easy to use thing.
Yeah, that's good.
Sorry, but Sonny, but the Electrum wallet, is complicated. Is it? It's too complicated.
Okay. No, but
I highly recommend.
Only 2 of 3. Isn't Copay only 2 of 3?
No.
It's not. Okay, that's problem solved.
It's not.
But is there a desktop version of Copay?
Well, why do you need a desktop version of Copay? at the end of the day,
Well, I was
like,
literally going to do screen share and do it right now. What do you mean? That's why.
oh, well, yeah, they're probably.
So
I
that's
mean,
why I had it done, huh?
okay, well, forgive me. I'm sorry, but what I mean is, why do we need a desktop version? I guess you want to have a desktop version to sign things, but ultimately, when you propose a transaction, it's very
Hmm.
easy to do it on mobile, and it's very easy. Like you get alerted, and like the key thing is just understanding, okay, how you properly set it up and making sure that you have keys recovered. I have set up some copay wallets in the past for some projects that didn't get underway, and I'd set it up with some co-signatories. My co-signatories lost access to their copay, and now the funds are lost. And like back then it was like $20, but now it's like $2,000, and it's lost crypto. So it's important that, like,
Okay, here, can you see my screen? Where is Copay? How do I even find it? I mean,
Just
copay
do
wallet.
Copay wallet, yeah.
Copay wallet.
And yeah, so we do see the chat. There's one guy talking
So
about
there's
DAEs. Never heard of that. But I will look into it later. Somebody suggested Atomic Wallet. Do they have multi-sig? I'm not sure. I mean,
Have you guys heard of Gnosis Safe?
Yeah, that's for Ethereum. Yeah, I
Yeah.
would definitely suggest that for Ethereum. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
great.
okay.
Yeah, and then there is, like, Richard Hart too. I mean, he's the guy behind Hex, who's created Pulse Chain as a fork. That's really interesting. Like, he's a massive freedom lover, as somebody else said in the chat here too. Digital Buzz.
Well, what we could do is we could set up a multi-signature wallet with all four of us for now, and then maybe just add.
Well, I mean,
the-
I'm reticent. I mean, we can set it up. I know that we can set it up, but I really don't want this to be like, in any way of like us, like, holding the keys or doing this. I really would like to, like, do this properly with, like, the convoy organizers, and they're really close. Like, I was talking to Pat King earlier today, and I think it's important, like, from right now, that we, we basically form a proposal, or like, because this is kind of our contribution towards this decentralized unity effort, and say, like, this is how we think it should. And should each of us have a key? I don't think so. If we're raising funds on behalf of the whole thing. Should one of us have a key, or two of us have a key, depending on how many keys there are? That would make sense. Okay, look, here's Sunny.
So okay, like, dude, Kyle, like, I was trying to share this, and you're like, no, I'm gonna do BitPay. But my point is, I don't have an iPhone connected to my computer, and I'm talking right now, right? Yes,
Yeah.
we'll go. And if you want to create a BitPay one, go right ahead, free world, right? But here I'm showing you literally in real time how easy it is. And look, maybe the co-founders of this movement just see this video and they're like, holy shit, we can do this ourselves. In which case it's a win, if you ask me. Okay. But in the absence of that, I say, let's just create it. Look how beautiful this is. Choose the number of signatures. Dude, Electrum is the fucking shit. Okay. It's come on. How can you say no to that? BitPay? Are you kidding me, dude? BitPay is a regulated piece of shit. Okay, let's not go there.
BitPay.
Okay.
BitPay
It's
is
okay. I love BitPay.
I love
BitPay. It's a great organization.
But hold on.
My point is, Electrum is like in line with the Bitcoin ethos.
BitPay. Thank you, BitPay, by the way, for funding the open source project known as Copay, and for spearheading
I know.
But it is an open
it's
source
beautiful,
project.
but they don't have a desktop version, so that sucks. Okay, and by the way, who keeps crypto on not desktops? Like, I mean, on iPhones only. If this is like $10 million, you're gonna have it on your. I mean, yeah, it's like you can have. And Electrum has a beautiful iPhone wallet. It's one of the best. Okay, but here's my point. This is just an example. We're not actually doing it. This is just an example, dude. Kyle, this is just an example. If you want to plug in your iPhone and share your screen, I'm game with that. In the absence of that, let's not just talk about shit. Let's actually show people how easy.
Go ahead.
Choose the number of signatures needed to unlock funds in your wallet. So what is this? Okay, so from 5 cosigners. So here, boom, you could add 15 freaking cosigners. Think of how beautiful that is. Okay, just by way of example, let's just keep it as such. And above 7, 8, so you can just say, let's say you need 10 people to sign it to do like the transaction to get the money out, right? Or whatever, we can decide. That's the beauty of this. So we just go next, create a new seed. I already have a seed, so I can create a new seed. Now, I'm not actually going to use this wallet, but you have, so whoever's doing this, you have to make sure that you obviously save this and don't share this with anyone, because that's super, super important. Confirm seed. Then you have to write that seed in here. Can I copy it? Which it's not that easy. How good's your memory, Antoine?
Squeeze out. Yeah, I'm not good enough. I have to write it down.
Okay, well, or there's something called screenshot.
Squeeze out.
Okay, this is just an example. We're not going to actually use these funds, obviously, because that would be really stupid. But we're just breaking it down, because we're recording this as live stream, and a lot of people don't know about Bitcoin. And I love the DAO energy. Okay, it's just, I'm not trying to poo-poo on it. It's just like we can do this now. Like,
No,
yeah,
I totally agree.
Yeah, I'm with that too.
Lazy.
Yeah.
I'm all about now. And then phase 2, let's go, baby. Let's bring in the big dogs. Where's Vitaly?
I mean, imagine all the cool things you could do with this too, right? Like, I was thinking about you could just make an incentive to raise funds by issuing 10,000 unique NFTs, you know, with some type of artwork around the Freedom Convoy, and then you get to have this NFT forever that says you support it, right?
You could do that.
Yeah, and that's again a long game thing, but yeah, I'm with you guys on just getting it done now.
So
I don't care about having the keys or anything like that. It's just I just want to
look, my goal is just that they do this, right? And again, if they are like, hey, love for these 4 guys to be a part of it, great, why not? It's just like, okay. So here's your master public key. Please share it with your cosigners. So let's say the 4 of us were like the cosigners. I would share that with you, right, in the chat or whatever. And then all of us would become cosigners. That's it. And then we go next. Okay. Enter cosigner key, add a cosigner to your multi-sig wallet. And look at this. We can even cosign with different hardware devices. So like if you have 15 organizers for this whole project, right? Tamara and whatever, like whoever these people are, Pat King, Chris Sky, let's see people vote them in ideally, right? Using some sort of whatever. Then these people could have their own hardware devices that aren't connected to their phone, right? That isn't connected to anything. It's just literally they can be offline and still have access to the funds. Very, very resilient. Look at this. See, I don't have my hardware stuff plugged in, but it's so easy. And people.
Sonny, we lost you.
Oh, sorry, dude. And if they need help, we can help them with it. And like I said, Kyle, you have connections to Pat and all these guys. We could do a Zoom call or what? No, maybe not Zoom. We'll do some sort of call with them and get it all figured out. And like I said,
I mean, it's best. I like given what we're doing and everything. I think it's best that we just keep doing restreams like this.
100%.
Like, you know,
100%.
keep it open, keep it transparent, like provide the invitation to connect for others about things. Like, for example, Digital Buzz, you're right here with us right now, offering lots of input.
Lighting up. Dude,
same with, you know, we want to encourage like more discussion around these and look at different options, you know, and ways forward on this, because like ultimately, you know, if we can serve as a you know, as a spearhead towards like getting more people involved on this concept and figuring this out. I like this. This is a real world example about what we can do.
Oh my God, we have hundreds of, no, maybe not hundreds, like 30 or some comments. I didn't even notice. I just turned on the comment thingy here. This is awesome. People because it's just me and Kyle always, right? So people.
I saw the comments.
Yeah. That's awesome. I don't know if there's anything good in there, but DAOs are too messy. Oh, look at that. Herding cats, because it comes down to herding cats. Okay. No, so my point is,
and that's where it's like this delegative democracy needs to come in, and you've got to have a strong foundation for it. Like, the tool is only as good as the people using it are.
Hey, Jean-Marc, do you want to get Jean-Marc in this? This is so awesome. You know, we're live streaming, baby. I've been thinking about doing this for some time, and
then also like, yeah, I mean, and then there's also there's an overlap with NFTs too, because NFTs, like, you know, by for example, like if you could take a picture of every trucker and like, you know, that and turn that into an NFT, have that NFT,
then truck companies, the truck logos.
Well, it's like, you know, the NFT, like as much as you have a voting token, like it could also be an NFT that represents your ability to vote in this system. Yes. And NFTs are a little bit more like are a little bit easier to understand than like, some of the deep crypto things. But I think that NFTs like my vision, or I believe that NFTs are going to play a very large role in the future of governance, and we'll have a lot of identity NFTs as well.
Yeah, I think so too. I think if they're not able to get the funds out of the GoFundMe, I think that if we want to start raising some more funds, it might be a good idea to just release 10,000 unique NFTs and have people pay, I don't know, $50 each for them or something like that. And I mean, obviously that's not going to end up being a lot of money. We'll have to figure out the numbers, but
I mean, that's a lot of money. That's not.
Hey guys, we just had Jean-Marc join.
$5,000.
I've been watching since about 4 minutes in since you started. So thanks for sending me.
Jean-Marc, what's up, buddy?
Weren't reading my messages. I was throwing.
I did not. I was not looking at the comments because it's just usually Kyle and I, and nobody ever comments, so I just kind of ignore it. But I was like, "What? People are writing us." Okay. Anyway, so welcome for joining, or thanks for joining. We're just talking about tyranny and all things Bitcoin and crypto.
Well, I like the idea. Like the DAO's cool and everything, and I like the idea of the NFTs. Like my buddy, one of our friends in Vancouver did like an NFT project. I ended up minting a couple. It's kind of cool, but it's called Crypto Vans, and it's just pixelated vans. It's just about the freedom of van life, and everybody kind of mints their own. Oh, where did our buddy go?
Oh shit. Well, actually, you look kind of like him, so I think he probably was like, I'm good. I'm represented by people that look like me. No, I'm kidding. You guys look like brothers. Corey is like, but John, I don't know what happened. He dropped out. He'll come back in. He said he was a hockey player. Is he like an NHL hockey player, Kyle? That guy?
I mean, you said it. I didn't.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. We just met Corey. Seems
awesome. Yeah, we just met him. Oh, he's back. We got him back. Hey, Corey, you said you were a hockey player. Like as a child, or like as in professionally?
Yeah, but no, not professionally. All growing up, I played hockey, and I mean, I would have loved to play hockey this year, but I can't play hockey unless you're vaccinated, brother. So
I know.
Oh God,
sad.
Stuff. Yeah,
it's sad. To Ottawa.
Well,
and I mean,
yeah.
I
hear a lot of the. I hear a lot of the professional hockey players have all been forced to get it too. But word on the underground is that they're all just getting saline. They're all getting like a gentle like nothing prick.
Yeah, I would.
As I'm sure lots of like people are, and that's another part of this great scam is they're likely like charging us for a product but just giving a lot of people water.
Hey guys, look at this. Can you see this comment? Kyle, I highlighted a comment. Sorry, I'm like a kid at a candy store right now. Ledger and Trezor hardware wallets are the safest way to go. You can connect to your MetaMask and you're good to go. Oh, that's smart, right? Because MetaMask, MetaMask is just Ether, right?
Yeah.
But we need to figure
this out. MetaMask allows you to sign transactions too.
Ethereum transactions.
Right.
Right. Or EVM compatible chain transactions too.
Cool. People have a lot of suggestions. This is awesome, Kyle. Like this is pretty cool. I'm really happy with this. Okay. What else? Where do we go from here, Kyle? You took some notes, right? I mean, your main was DAOs. I think we covered that. I talked about some of the wins. I've obviously got an infinite stream of like tweets that every day that I can talk about. Where do you want to go?
Let's talk about like, I mean, I like to talk about like, okay, so now we've applied this here, but like, how can this be applied for example, the conservatives? Like, they're having they're like, going through a leadership contest right now. I think a lot of Canadians like see that they represent like, kind of the opposition party, and, there's an opportunity that it can become a vehicle for, Canadian unification underneath the banner of True North, Strong and Free. But Canadians aren't really part of it because like it's kind of the MPs who are deciding who's going to be the next leader. So it's like of their party. It's like how can what would be possible from a DAO perspective to like transition to a better system. And I know like that like Pierre Poilievre, for example, like he talked. I had him at my conference, my blockchain government summit many years ago. And he showed up and he gave a speech all about Switzerland and direct democracy. And honestly, talking exactly what we're talking about here. Like he would fit in right now with us talking about like the future models of and how blockchain and crypto can facilitate that kind of discussion. So I mean, I like, right now, based on like, based on my thin slice, it looks like Pierre Polyev is just the absolute kind of like, he seems like, the best counter to it. Obviously he's a politician, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't make too grand of assumptions by people. All my interactions with him have been positive, and you see him standing up and asking tough questions, and he's been doing it. He hasn't been like full truth, but he's been certainly trying to hold them accountable.
Hey, we had some questions, Kyle. I think this one might be for you.
Ouch. I know that guy.
How did we end up with your evil brother Justin Trudeau as PM? Well, it was a long journey. Involved lots of really fluffy media pieces and a lot of powerful interests supporting him towards getting there. And is he evil? I mean, I don't think he in his heart, in his soul is evil, but he is running, and he is like if like we were to say he's an actor in a movie, I feel like he's playing a villain role right now, and that sucks. And he should totally get out. And that's what I have to say about that.
Yeah. Antoine, what do you got for us? Any thoughts on I don't know, crypto, COVID tyranny, trucker convoy, freedom?
I don't have too much to say about the convoy.
Hey, are you coming to Toronto? Are you coming to Ottawa on Saturday? We're thinking of going. We got a little mini convoy. Is your girlfriend going to allow you? Oh shit! Oh man, got dirty. What? We got to keep the people entertained. Are you not entertained?
I'm not coming now. I'm not coming anymore because of what you said. No, I'm kidding. I
hurt your prayer. Hey, look at this one, Kyle. Read this comment. It's for you, dude. I can't believe this is so cool. People, more comments. If you are watching, comments is our lifeblood. We don't get paid for this. Yet, right? Kyle's got a Patreon. Go to Kyle's Patreon.
When are you gonna run, Kyle?
Hey,
once freedom is restored, let's have a party.
Hey,
Canada, as a I'm happy to be a I
love Canada. I love that.
If I had a vote and people wanted to go along with my votes and copy my votes,
oh my god,
me votes,
dude, it's great. Kyle running for PM. I think you just got your first nomination.
I mean, yeah, I mean, again, what I want people to understand is we need to move past individuals as our saviors. I am just one person. I'm just doing the best I can, but ultimately, we're trying to return the power to the people.
What if someone ran on that platform, which was you vote me in, and I forever give the power back to the people? Is that possible?
I mean,
completely. It's here, and if you want me to overrule you, fine. But but let's just say no.
I was talking with Paul Pui, and he was talking about running for the U.S. Senate seat and saying that I just and he was talking kind of in jest, but honestly, in jest, it made a lot of sense. He said, "I want my my votes will be entirely governed by a DAO." And okay, you're going to be represented, but you are literally going to vote based on a DAO. And you got there's some interesting concepts around that, but ultimately, in this future system, that we will realize, I'm just putting it out there, we will realize a decentralized governance model for Canada that will not be beholden to the interests of foreign powers and archaic structures and secret agreements. We need to have true, transparent governance systems so that we can rein in a an abundant free world and free Canada. We don't need to be fighting each other in a scarcity model anymore, or like, you know, playing divisive politics. Obviously there's still going to be division, but that's natural, and there should be debate about everything. But you know, in this concept of like, you know, if I have a vote and people want to delegate me their votes on certain top subjects, like, you know, you might vote on me when it comes to, you know, governance systems, but you might not vote on me when it comes to, you know, heritage decisions, or like, you know, transport decisions, because there might be somebody better that you want. So like, that's one of the great abilities, is we can have a more expert system and much more like, you know, merit based like stewardship system of decision making, as opposed to right now you have all of these, like, you know, you have these representatives who aren't experts in really any specific topic, or some of them might be a doctor, or they were, you know, this or that in past lives, or, you know, before politics, but they're now voting on all sorts of things that they're not experts on. So like, that's not really fair
Yeah,
to, you know, the
it's
people.
very limited and primitive compared to what could be. And right now, you just basically get to vote on who's the prime minister, but in the future, you could vote on like specific issues. You know,
Well,
like
exactly. And
yeah.
you don't even like, you know, vote on who's the prime minister. Like, we're not in America. It's not like the presidency. It's like you vote on
Yeah,
your representative, and if you get enough representatives, and the leader of that party
yeah,
is
yeah.
appointed as the prime minister, and then they have this, like, you know, this
It-
really, you know, big title, and, you know, get to get their own plane and house and, you know, cottage, and get to go to, you know, fancy dinners and fly around the world, and um you know, do what they do. But again, it's like, you know, is it worth it?
How far along is Canada? I mean, that is inevitable, and I mean, I would be so excited to get involved in something like
the
that.
website is had. We've got that. Kyle's got the vision. We just need some people to help us build. Like I said, I like to think in 3 phase stages. I think phase 1 should be like what they call the MVP, the minimum viable product, which is like the easiest, simplest way to just get the job done. It doesn't have to be pretty.
Exactly.
It shouldn't take months. It should be like a week or something, like
Yeah,
super fast.
yeah.
Phase 2
Yeah.
is like, you know, moving really towards that vision, and then phase 3 would be like that ultimate DAO, blah blah blah, whatever it is, right? Like, ideally, yeah. So, hey guys, I was gonna say there's a really interesting question here, by Michael J. Trout. So, truckers DAEs are number autonomous trucking coming. What? Oh, days. Truckers' days are
No,
numbered.
DA.
With autonomous trucking coming, and with their jobs. So what he's saying, I think, is that
I looked at
cars, trucks are becoming autonomous, and does that, you know, maybe potentially threaten these truckers that are standing up for all of us, right? Like, imagine this happens 50 years from now, and for some reason, you know, Elon Musk is like the only trucker because every truck is autonomous. Then that would be scary. But I don't know. I mean, these truckers obviously have the ability to you know, drive autonomous vehicles, right? Meaning, like, I drive a Tesla, and it's not always driving. It's, you kind of go back and forth, and it actually helps because you can, you know, it just, you can use more cognitive power to do other things without just trying to have to keep it center line type of deal. So I can see a world where they can maybe live together. I don't know. But, and then the question is, how does the DAO help with their loss of their jobs? I don't know. Maybe I can picture, maybe a trucker now has 10 trucks on the road that he's autonomously controlling from the comfort of his living room or something. I don't know. I have no answers to these, but I mean, and then the DAO is being used by him to control the 10 autonomous vehicles. I'm seriously like sci-fi over here, but you know, who knows?
I
Well, if
mean,
we don't have
it
truckers
depends.
anymore, who's going to run our
It depends on
guys
how
democratic
the
think?
system?
DAO is structured, right? Like, a DAO is like a community. You know, it's run by the community. So if the community
Right.
sets up pensions or you know, whatever it might be. But to
Basically,
his question, you know,
What if they
if all
use the $10
trucking-
million to build the autonomous vehicles, and then all the truckers got the profits that were generated from the autonomous?
Yeah, I mean, like, let's just
This
pull
is
back
phase
here out of
75.
like, you know, let's kind of ground ourselves in reality, and the, like, you know, we're not going to see autonomous trucking for, you know, a decade or two. And you know, that said, every trucker also has more than just trucking within them.
Mm.
So they're probably passionate about other things. And it's if that and frankly, I mean, I believe that the trucking industry is going to continue, and it's not going to be like to actually replace the entire fleet. Like diesel is here. Diesel's not going anywhere. Those trucks work. They're not going anywhere.
Right.
Like it's going to continue. I mean, will it slowly over time? I mean, I think our timelines are probably a lot longer than even a decade towards like the supply chain, like that the trucker job not being there. But yeah, it's there.
Anyways,
I just want to say I
anyone
got
else wanna throw in?
one
Yeah,
comment
go ahead.
asking about from RJ on there saying like when is the interview with Pat King going to be up?
Yeah,
I just posted on Twitter. There's an interview of Pat King and with Amina Matala that I did earlier, so we can talk about that. But that was like, I'm pretty sure as we were talking was when the GoFundMe news came out, and so like that's what spurred this discussion now. And as you see, we're heavy on like jumping into this right away.
Hey, by the way, you guys, I mean, if you want, the 3 people that joined today for the first time, you can share this on I think you can share this as well if you want on anything you want, like because we're actually streaming to Twitter and a whole bunch of other places. Okay, so that answers that question. We've got another lady here who's saying what? Hi from Sarnia, Ontario, Tori Joseph. Hello.
Hey, Tori.
Hello. Thank you. We're loving the comments. This is so awesome. This makes it all worthwhile, right, guys? Love from Canada. Woo woo. We should start every call with "Oh Canada." I'm literally getting my kids now every morning. We told their teacher, we're like, we just start with them like singing "Oh Canada." She's like, done. Oh, here we go. Okay, so what else, guys? I have a couple of things I wanted to share, but anything else? Anyone have anything top of mind? Corey, I think you wanted to share,
I was just gonna ask. I mean, Anthony, if you do, you're a lawyer?
Anthony?
Antoine?
Antoine.
Oh,
Sorry.
we're hoping
It's
Addison would
first
join
podcast.
us.
Antoine is a
Okay.
futurist. He's a self-proclaimed futurist.
I'm not a lawyer.
Fair enough.
He's not a lawyer. Yeah, go ahead, Antoine. You can introduce
Regardless,
yourself.
I was just thinking the last thing about on the DAO conversation. The reason that I was really pulled to the DAO initially as well is because you can create what's a DAO LLC now. So kind of like I was explaining before, you can have it wrapped by this. You can have your DAO wrapped in this legal liability wrapper, so that, for example, right? Because who knows how this is going to shake out, especially like two weeks down the line. Like this isn't over, right? The Freedom Convoy.
No.
And I don't know if there's going to be any type of liability on the organizer's behalf for anything right that happens in between now and then. And so I was thinking that might be an option for them. I think it would take more than like 2 weeks to set that up, so maybe we don't really have time for that. So at the end of the day, I would really like to just continue the actual action on trying to get this multi-sig wallet or however it shakes out.
I'd be game to help. Yeah, I'd be game to help with that. I think
to the organizers, and just get it done, get it rolling.
And then they don't need. Then they're in control again. Boom. Then they just keep trucking along.
Yeah, and they can do it however they want to do it, right? Like if some of them don't want to do it because they don't understand crypto or they don't feel confident enough in it, then maybe it's just 5 or 6 of them that do it, or maybe one of you guys kind of jump in and help them, or like just in terms of like holding some of the keys. But however they want to do it. Yeah, it's super interesting, man. I think this is going to really change the world. And I think the biggest thing, too, is that we can spark change for, like, for example, Australia is doing it. The U.S. is doing it. And I don't want their GoFundMes to get frozen, too, right? So we can kind of set a template as to, how the fuck to do this trucker thing, right?
Yeah, I agree. Hey, Kyle, do you want me to give you control? I mean, do you want me to share this screen?
Yeah, share this screen.
Yeah. Okay, let's go.
So
Boom,
I just pulled
baby.
up like this Bitcoin for truckers.
Yeah, what's this about?
So it's got 508. It's got 508 contributors. This is exactly what you were looking for, but for Sunny. It's like it shows like a progress bar, and so like let's say I want to send. I don't know.
How legit is this? I mean, like I think Greg Foss tweeted
USD
it, so I would bet it's legit.
11.
I love it.
Oh no, that's
yes, baby. Yes, this is Bitcoin.
Let's say $10. So, and then you say type a public message. Say
Woo! Love it. Bring it, baby. Bring it. This is it. This is what I'm talking about.
The keys for this
and then you
wallet,
do it
though.
anonymous, and then so check this out.
Lovely.
So So when do you guys pay that? If you got a wallet there, this is $10.
Let me see. Is that a Lightning wallet? I think I have
No,
some.
this is
in
an
my blue
OnPay
wallet.
one. I can show you the. This
This is a real Bitcoin.
This looks like a real Bitcoin wallet, and it looks like there's real Bitcoin or Lightning option. So I said on chain. So this is just, it looks like it's just a legit address.
Do you guys
Wait,
know
wait.
who has the keys?
So we don't know if it's Lightning or not. Can you just scroll down? What does it say there? The Canadian. Here,
Well, this was so.
I mean, we should know what kind of wallet. What kind of? It says BTC, so maybe it's just Sats. So, but that still means BTC. Maybe
Yeah,
we
it
should
says
find out.
Sats. That's 0.0000027171 Bitcoin, right? BTC. So
Yeah.
anybody just if like
Well,
scan
I
this,
have it
got
in my
2
Lightning wallet here. So I don't know if that'll work. That won't work, obviously.
Okay,
right?
then if you go Lightning, then
Oh,
here's
they have a Lightning option. Hey,
So
yeah,
here,
baby.
so scan
yeah,
that one.
baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, if this works, I'm gonna cry. I hope it's legit, eh?
You guys don't know who has the keys to this, though, right?
No,
We don't know
idea.
who has
We're
the keys
literally-
to this. So
we're
we're
right
just
now.
testing and we're promoting, and right
Wait,
now
it's
I
not
would
much
like,
money, right? How much money is it?
I mean, it's like $25,000 right now, or like $20,000.
no. How much are you getting me to send in terms
Oh,
of
this is like $10. But if you want less,
25,000. Ah, shit. No.
you want less here, $1. There.
No. Just run a test for now.
All right, let's run a test.
What did you put before?
I put it as $10.
Okay.
So let's just do $1 because it's Lightning.
Okay, but I'm having a really hard time focusing my camera on that. Let me make it a big screen here. That'll probably solve it.
I know. Well, the lightning thing is pretty.
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of weird. Wait, can you just send me the address? Or just put it in the notes section? Because I'm having a hard time with it. That's kind of funny. Oh, wait, what happened there? Yeah, wait, go down a bit. Let me see. That might actually fix it. It's just too granular, I think, for some reason. Hey, I got it.
All right.
I got it. Do you see my screen? Woo. Okay, picked it up. Whatever you did there made it just pretty enough.
Yeah,
Hey.
RJ, we're testing. That's exactly what we're doing right now.
Yeah. Let's see, baby. Let's see.
Paid. Boom.
Ba-ba-da-ba! Bitcoin to the rescue. That's our freedom for you live to air.
Oh, sweet. I just received $10 worth of Bitcoin.
You bastard.
And so this is coming from, these guys, Hong Kong Hodl.
Do it. Follow. They get a follow for that one. We'll keep an eye on them now. We can track it. Track the funds on the blockchain. Get chain analysis on this. Okay. What is it, dude? What's the name? Hong Kong? Oh, I love that name too. I will name my first son Hong Kong. And he will be a trucker. Okay, I love this, man. This is so good. Canada somehow went from like best country in the world to live in to like the worst country in the world to live in, now again to being the best country to live in.
This is funny.
It went from hero to zero to hero. What's this thing? Gofundme. Lost some truckers' money. Bitcoin. That's
what happened today, right?
People, go follow these guys. Oh man, I hope they're not little scammers. I mean,
well, that's it. It's like, we just don't
mess
know
with Bitcoiners.
Who this is. Here you go. Dumped into a multi-sig wallet controlled by Foss.
Yeah,
Jeff
there you
Booth,
go. It's
and
Greg
nobody
Foss.
care about,
See, told
who is
you.
on the ground in Ottawa. Fund
See,
allocation will
Booth,
be at
trusted,
their discretion.
Trustable. Let's see. Mission accomplished. Dude, we did something today in our call. We didn't just talk. See? We supported this cause, baby. $1. And if other people are out there, hey, you saw it. It's easy. Pierre is a fantastic speaker. Pierre would make a fantastic PM. Would he? I like Kyle's idea of just like a abolishing the
I mean,
idea of
for
having a
now,
PM.
because
Hey, tell them about Switzerland. Remember you told me about how they have this system where people cycle or something. Remember, it made a lot of sense. We need a new
Yes.
system, man. It's got to
So,
go.
I mean,
Direct democracy. Talk about that. I mean,
this
there's
is literally inspired. All right, you can stop this share screen, but
Yes,
here
yes.
this is good, and I'm gonna retweet
Oh shit, we
that
lost
one.
Andal.
Well, his
girlfriend
camera's
called
off.
him.
Still is.
Oh, I brought him back.
But yeah, so like, you know, well, this I was really like actually inspired to learn more about that system by Pierre Poilievre at the conference when he explained that in Switzerland they have a referendum system. So it's like kind of one of the best functioning democracies in the world at the moment. And hold on, I gotta, these comments are distracting me. Let me move them aside. Okay. And they have this direct democracy where any Swiss citizen can go and get if they can get 100,000 signatures, the entire country will vote on whatever initiative it is. So if you really disagree with something, go out there and get 100,000 signatures and the whole country will vote on it. And you actually, like, you know, as the referendum organizer, you get to present your case in like a one pager, and then the government will present their case as to why the status quo is better in a one pager. Then it goes to the ballot boxes, and if the people vote on it, it becomes the law. So it's like, you know, it works kind of pretty well, and you know, it's, you know, it's a system to be you know, to be understood as ways that, you know, imagine, for example, in Canada, you know, if there was a campaign to say, you know, abolish the CRA or remove income tax in favor of a
Amen.
consumption tax, like,
Oh.
you know, a seamless
Wah, wah,
consumption
wah.
tax instead of an income tax.
Okay.
And 90% of Canadians agreed to that. Well, right now, if 90% of Canadians agreed with that, then, like, you know, it still has pretty much a zero chance of passing in the House because
Can we just make all taxes voluntary? Like just like how I tip, like I'll do it. I'll do it. Just can you just not? Can they just not make me do it?
right.
That's
I mean,
a different conversation.
that's a different conversation. But I mean,
I just
if,
don't like
like,
the
you
make
know,
me part.
for example, like, you know, when you go to the gas station, you fill up on gas.
Yeah.
There sometimes you'll see a pie chart that says, where does my gas money go, and it shows a big breakdown of different kind of, you know, recipients of that money. Well, the thing is, it like with digital money, it can automatically be dispersed. So every time you pay at the pump, it splits out across all those people, or it batch sends every now and then, and it's really hyper efficient. What we did in Ontario many years ago is we introduced the HST, which was the harmonized sales tax, because in the existing system, it was too complicated to have PST and GST. It's too much reporting for individuals because businesses have to take on liability by being in business. They act as tax collectors. So my family has a restaurant. You know, we collect money from, we you know, we have $100 bill. We'll charge 15% tax. The bill will be $115. Then there'll be a tip on top of it. Let's say it's $125. Well, we take in all that money into our bank account, and then we're supposed to apportion off that $15 into like a GST fund. But then you also get this thing where, you know, if it costs me $50 to make that $100, I can actually write off I'll pay tax on that $50. So then I'll take my $15 and I'll write $7.50 off, and I'll get net $7.50 of taxes. But I have to hold on to that money and then remit it to the government later. Wouldn't it be easier if the payment terminals just automatically did that? We could cut the rate in half potentially, or even more, and just have automatic distribution to one coffer that could be DAO managed, or like in a future state, or it could go directly towards all where, like, you know, where that GST, that sales tax money goes, it can be apportioned directly towards like the spending causes. Anyways, this is something I'm like really passionate about and can talk about, like, you know, at length for a long time, just because I feel like, you know, the existing system is so broken and so toxic, and it actually is kind of a slavery system where no matter what, if you earn $1 today, you have a liability tomorrow based on this, and you are forced into like signing a tax, in signing a declaration and paying income tax money all the time, and people cheat that, and it's like generally understood that you should cheat a bit on your taxes, and when that is just like the norm, that's a sign of a broken system. So we need to fix the system so that abuse doesn't happen, and also think about fixing the system that doesn't encourage offshoring money, because if you make a lot of money, you're probably going to offshore your money to other countries, and then you're not going to have the money in Canada, where you'd be spending it in Canada. Like encouraging people to earn as much as they can, I think, is a good thing. And there's all sorts of like intricacies to this that warrant a bigger discussion. But I think at the end of the day, if you told people that every year they wouldn't have to pay income taxes, people would generally be stoked on that, and that tax season were to disappear, I think people would be pretty stoked on that.
Well, here's the crazy thing. I like a long time ago, I used to do the whole like financial advising thing, and you would tell people, you make money, you get taxed. You spend money, you get taxed. You save money, you get taxed. You die, you get taxed. If you look, like people think that you only pay 40-50% of your income tax, whatever it is, but you pay your income tax, then you pay tax on this that goes to fly, you pay tax on gas, you pay tax on this, you pay tax PST, GST, you pay tax, like I said, on your gains, you pay tax after you die. Like you're always paying tax. And my point is like all of that is fundamentally by force. I would love to run that democratic process and put it up to the people and be like, do you think you are better off with your money, or do you think you're better off giving it to me and making me make you give it to me? I think I think all of this stems in that immorality of force that is being used, right? The gun in the room. But this is a bigger conversation. I was going to say, but before we go too philosophical and kind of like into that stuff, Kyle, do you mind if I share just something a little fun?
I don't mind at all. Go.
Here. So this is what you don't see on the news, right? In terms of what's happening with the trucker convoy. This is a guy literally erasing graffiti. I'm gonna kill the sound here. We can even keep talking, and I can just play some stuff that kind of adds to it. But this is the Terry Fox. They were saying how the people ruined the Terry Fox statue. That was people cleaning it. Actually, this is them. I heard today the truckers were giving away free pizza in Ottawa. This is like, I don't know, like a lot of like native people like singing and dancing. I mean, it is literally a very, very happy vibe. Don't listen to the state-owned media.
Are you going tomorrow and stuff?
I'm planning to do, John Mark, I'm going on Saturday. Is right now me and Jesse, the guy who wrote the kids Bitcoin book called, I think, Magic Internet Money, Jesse. So he's him and I are scheduled to go. I'm trying to convince Antoine to come, but his girlfriend hasn't given him the green light. God, Antoine, you gotta come, man. Anyways, I was really inspired by this video. I'm just poking fun. I've known Antoine for too long. Dude, what else? I mean, like I said, I have an oh, look, here we go. Saskatchewan dropping all COVID restrictions. Woo! Woo! That's what victory smells like. Alberta Premier hopes to start lifting all COVID-19 health measures by end of February. Ooh, baby. Like, look at this. Yeah. Yeah, trucker's not gonna work. Oh yeah, not gonna work. I'm looking at those people out there who are saying that. Hey, I got my eyes on you. There's a lot of them that are poo-pooing on this. This is gonna work. Kyle, tell us why this is gonna work. I feel like it's gonna work. I feel very confident. I don't know.
I mean, that was a really great experience. That was a simple experience. I'm actually right now trying to send these links to these guys to join the show right now. So I'm hopefully.
Look at this one, Daddy. What did you do during the pandemic? I got this. Sorry, you guys. It's gonna be a tough crowd. You guys love NFTs. You and your
NFTs are awesome.
I don't get it. I only get Bitcoin and truckers, baby. Look at this. This lady is a professor of ethics, and she was fired from, I forget which, Ontario University. And by the way, I heard the crowd's getting big today. I heard it's getting big. Oh my God.
I went from no hope in Canada to like being so patriotic just in a couple of days.
to being the
Yeah.
only hope. I'll say it right now.
Yeah.
Who else is providing the world more hope than Canadians right now? And I'm not trying to take credit because I think I'm 0% of this. I'm just like a fly on the wall. Look at this. Look at this. The Freedom Trucker Convoy protest made free pizzas for anyone in Ottawa. These misogynist terrorist people all giving away free pizza. Put them in jail. Call the military. Give me a fucking break. These people need to wake up. Nothing but love, man. People look yummy. I took my little kids into this, okay? My little kids. Like, I would never put them in harm's way. I took them right into the center. And the only reason I took them out is because my wife said it smelled like weed in there. Or else we would have kept going. But I don't know. I'm so excited. I've been tracking all this for about a year now. I haven't been as awake as Kyle, but Kyle, you like this one?
Oh man, yeah, I literally posted that
Sometimes
one.
It hurts.
So
it hurts.
I mean, but show the bottom. But hold on, go on up for a second. Like
Oh,
we
yeah.
didn't get to see the
Oh,
bottom
oh.
of that meme. Like actually show that thing.
With the bot. Oh, this one.
Well, yeah, because when it's broadcasting, our screens
Oh,
cover it up.
Oh, I got you. I got you. I got you. How about this? Boom,
There
baby.
you go.
See?
Sweet.
See? Restream,
Yeah.
restream, baby. This is good. Okay,
Marshall
so
Marshall McLuhan said World War III is not going to be like a combat war on the ground. It's going to be a guerrilla information war with no delineation between civilian and military. And I
Because he
feel
was
like we're
talking
in
about
that right now.
Ukraine and Russia,
mm,
and that's a crazy one right now. We're in a really, anyways, it's a whole nother subject, guys.
Yeah, I mean it looks
Twitter is
we want to
brutal.
start more wars and continue to keep people scared and and right now and it also I feel like so it's important to understand that all these wars were sold to us on fear on a fear of some outcome taking place, but what they actually realized was just insane wealth transfer from national coffers into globalist coffers and into private coffers.
dude,
Kyle,
there's
you
nothing but
confirmed it.
humor. There's literally nothing but memes are so good. Sorry, what was that,
Memes are
Corey?
powerful.
I was just gonna say, Kyle, can you confirm that Justin Trudeau is a part of this Great Reset thing? I mean, like, it seems so obvious. I think the Great Reset protest is going to be next, where it's just like, man, everybody's so fucking aware that this is
Look at
happening.
this. Oh, sorry,
Like-
Corey, to interrupt. We got a legend just joined the show
Well,
here.
it's not. I mean,
How
it
did
was
that
on the
happen?
website,
Hey,
right?
Greg.
So it's not really on the World Economic Forum. Hey,
Greg,
Greg.
can you hear me?
I can, but I can't tell who's talking, guys.
That's
How are
Sunny.
you? Sunny Ray?
Yes, sir.
Hey, buddy.
Here, let's
how
go
are
back
you?
into normal. Hey, Kyle, we just had Greg Foss join.
Welcome, Greg.
Hey, man, I loved your talk with, I'm not quite sure who it was, but she used to
Melanie.
work. We used to work at Global TV, I think, and then she was interviewing you at West or something.
Yeah, Melanie from the Standard. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
that's her.
awesome.
That's her. Yeah. That was really
great.
solid. Yeah, good work.
Thank you,
Greg,
Thank
tell
you.
us about this thing, man. This lightning thing. We just sent some money to it. It's pretty cool. Is it real?
Oh, it's very real. We're trying to prove to the world why you don't send money to a centralized exchange or a centralized platform like Gofundme.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a multi-sig wallet. There are 3 signatories within the Bitcoin community in Canada. They're pretty substantial. There's Jeff Booth, who I'm sure all of you guys know. Jeff is the author of the best book I've ever read called The Price of Tomorrow. He's a Vancouver-based Canadian entrepreneur.
Amazing.
There's Ben Sessions, who is runs a show called BTC Sessions out of I think it's out of Calgary, somewhere out west.
Know him well. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know
great
of
guy.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, great guy. And then there's myself. And then we're gonna get one. We're gonna get one international dude, probably a Canadian, but suppose some guy who's living in Costa Rica, like Francis Pouliot, or someone who's living in El Salvador or something like that. So
Cool.
our goal is to raise the money. We're not going to distribute it quite very quickly, but we just want to raise it because we got to strike while the iron's hot, right? And right now with GoFundMe, I'm not certain. I've never given money on GoFundMe before, but it seems like it might be frozen. So maybe Bitcoin is the alternative.
Well, look,
Yeah,
we
Bitcoin definitely is the alternative, and
Mhm.
it seems like the timing is just so perfect. And Greg, I'll say that our whole discussion today started
with
with
that.
discussing GoFundMe and the need for looking at DAO structures and future governance models that are that can solve that problem of centralization, and GoFundMe acting as a custodian. And we were discussing multi-sig wallets and providing a little bit of a primer on that. And then, we found the Hong Kong coddle thing. And Sunny was talking about, oh, I just want to be able to see this thing, like, the counter that goes. And then I guess
Yeah.
Tally Coin, that's it, right?
Yeah, well, I say to people, this is my new line, right? I grew up with a rotary dial phone, you guys. I don't know what the fuck this all means, okay? Like, seriously, I have an on-chain wallet, but I don't have a Lightning wallet. I leave it to the younger kids to figure it out, and that's why Ben Sessions is our guy. And but it's cool. It's real cool, and it's going to be, we're going to hold it as an endowment for the truckers. Because why? Because we want to hold it when it goes from $400,000 to $4 million as Bitcoin goes up in value. So we'll treat it in the short term. We might disperse some funds for the soup kitchens that claim to be overrun and stuff like that. We have a guy who's boots on the ground in Ottawa checking out a lot of this stuff. So I think we're coming at it from the right way, but we're trying to move fast to weave and dodge, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, my personal opinion is I think that the funds should, like, one of the great challenges of GoFundMe is, like, you can see how much was collected, but you can't see how much was dispersed. And
Yeah.
With Bitcoin, we have the ability to see how much was
Yeah.
dispersed.
Mhm.
And I mean, I'll share my perspective. I think those funds should immediately start getting dispersed for purpose. I
Okay.
understand. Please, I understand, like, the HODL potential of the value increasing over time and as an endowment. I think an endowment is a fantastic idea and it's a fantastic concept. But at the
Mhm.
same time, it's like, these guys were potentially, like, there was a big pot of funds that were going to be used for
Right.
this. And now, like with Bit Refill, for example, like, you can turn crypto into a Tim Hortons gift card. You can turn Bitcoin into a Tim Hortons
Right.
gift card immediately, and, like, those can be distributed out. Like, you can create
I understand. I hear what you're saying, and so we're challenged by the following. First of all, the logistics of doing that. Our guy with boots on the ground. There's truckers that are lined up. It's not just on Rideau Street. It goes right down the canal. It goes all the way out to the 417. Right. I mean, this is just a massive, massive convoy that nobody's really reporting. And the reality of it is, it's it takes this guy 45 minutes to get from the start of the convoy to down to Parliament Hill. This is crazy. People are not being reported on the truth of the size of this movement. And so, the first things first, Kyle, like, I love what you're saying. We want to help the truckers, but we have to be nonpartisan about this as well. I loved everything you said about your half brother. I'm not a fan of your half brother. All right. I have to say that.
That's fine. Right now, I'm not a fan of his political decisions in the direction at all. Like, that's why I'm
look,
standing up. Like,
he's
it's
a
terrible.
he's a mathematical buffoon. Okay. Like, you have to tell him he's a fucking moron, and saying shit like the budget will balance itself and everything is absolutely criminal for my children. And this is the biggest problem. We have a guy who doesn't understand mathematics, who should have been fired if he said the same stuff as the CEO of a company, yet he says it as CEO of a country, and everyone embraces him. So I'm very upset about the situation. We're trying to. I hope that there'll be some medium ground here, and I hear what you're saying. The logistics are very difficult when everyone's working against you. I mean, the political system's working against you, right? There's no support from the mayor. There's no support from the city council. There's certainly no support from your half brother, and even Doug Ford is going on the side of the of mainstream media. So we want to get the money and then figure out what to do with it. And I promise you, I'll take your advice under advisement. That's the best I can
Sure.
say.
I'm not asking to be a key signatory or
we would
or-
consider
or-
it. You know how cool that would be? Can I tell you how cool that would be? And if you are 100%, I think I would go to my team and say, but this could cause a country revolt. You know, we got to be careful here. We got to understand that your brother.
I know,
Okay, go
but
ahead.
we understand that my brother and his party and his handlers and the script writers and the media are fully opposed to freedom and do not believe that people have the capacity to rightly govern themselves.
Right.
So and I think that's like we all agree that that's ridiculous and frankly unacceptable. I would say.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You understand how important you are in this whole thing because you were so diplomatic with that young lady, and it was beautiful. But by the same token, it's like, okay, like we don't have that much time to be that diplomatic anymore. And your brother is not acting in the best interests of my children, and I for that reason I think we need to get more aggressive. But I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying we got to go out, instead of going out shotgun, we sort of got to go out rifle, and we got to go and figure this out. But the first thing to do would be to bring money in, right? And I think you'd be a huge spokesman for it. Huge. But if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You know, it's not worth losing a Family Guy.
Tim Draper gives us great advice. He says, like, you know, Tim, what are your life lessons? Like his first life lesson, just say yes. Like, you know, say yes to things, because if you say no to too many things, you limit yourself to things. Obviously, I'd say be conscious of danger, evaluate what you're getting into, but like, you know, don't just immediately say no. So like, you know, the whole purpose of our discussion here today was to discuss exactly this and look at alternatives. And I know there's a lot of anger right now, and people are like channeling that anger at the individual in Justin and my brother, but recognize like he is just a representative of the whole system that we need to be really angry with.
But no, his votes he's actually more popular. If I'm not mistaken, his popularity raised by 1.2% or something.
Well,
I'm not
according to Ipsos Reid, or according to Nano, like, you know, according to these big
listen, you want to know something criminal? My daughter is still in 4th year university, and she was taking a class tonight at 9 p.m. or finishing at 9 p.m. and the professor was showing pictures of the white extremists, the right-wing white extremists, swastikas and everything. The one picture of one flag, this guy was showing the entire student body. And I'm like, Sam, that's my daughter's name. How much am I fucking paying for this bullshit that I need you to be indoctrinated by this piece of... Anyway, you know, it's absolutely disgraceful, the mainstream media bullshit that we're seeing.
Hey, Greg, I was in Ottawa this weekend, and I took my 4-year-old, and my 7-year-old right into the lion's den, into the white supremacy, minority, fringe, racist mob. And we were right in the middle, and it was beautiful. It was nothing but love.
I tell you, the pictures
harmony.
I've seen as well. This guy at Nobody Caribou, okay, you guys? So this guy at Nobody Caribou, I'm not going to dox him. His first name is Nick. His last name is French Canadian. And he's sending me pictures on a daily basis of people picking up garbage, of wiping paint off the ground. Yeah. Literally scrubbing the sidewalks. Okay. This is how you protest. This is not a Stanley Cup defeat where Montreal goes and loots all their stores. And by the way, I grew up in Montreal, so I'm allowed to say shit like that. At the end of the day, we should be applauding this as a global protest with no looting and everything. And what's mainstream media doing? Yeah, there's the pictures, like the beautiful pictures. What's mainstream media doing? The opposite.
Swastikas. But again, and they're showing their cards so clearly. Yes. And this is why they are this archaic institution. And we are not going to win the mainstream media ever.
Never.
Not right now.
CTV
Okay,
is
that's
not
fair. Not
going to
yet.
change.
$600 million he gave
CBC
them.
is not
How?
going to change. Like, you know, CNN
Yeah.
is not going to change. Like they'll begrudgingly report on the successes, but they're not going to change. This is what like Buckminster Fuller said. You can't fix the system by fighting it. Build the new system that makes it
This
obsolete. And that's exactly
Yes,
what we're
we
doing
are the media.
right now. And like just like GoFundMe showed us just today, like, okay, immediately we innovate, we create, honk honk hodl. Check that
Right.
out, make a donation.
Yeah.
And then we're
thank
going
you
to
for that.
continue
Thank you for
building
your
on
donations,
this.
you guys.
And we're going to continue
That was just a
building
test.
on this.
More's coming. I gotta go take a piss break. I'll be back. This is crazy. We're on fire right now. Kyle, keep going.
Indeed. And so like, you know, I like look like MakerDAO, for example, like, you know, uses this service called Request that allows anybody who wants to host a meetup on MakerDAO. They can make a request, they get a form, it comes in and they click approve, deny. And basically they approve for a lot of things. And they've got a community fund for that. And if you were to apply that same kind of methodology towards a Hong Kong HODL fund, for example, and you had truckers needing things like recording videos.
Okay, so Kyle,
making
get in
requests.
touch with Ben Sessions. Okay,
Totally.
Like, I mean,
I'm
like-
down. Let's get Ben on here right now.
Well, I just talked to him on a cell phone. I think he might be having dinner with his family. But at the end of the day, like we can plan this out. I think it would be very strategic for you to be part of this whole thing. But that being said, I don't want to compromise your family position. But I got to tell you, your brother's a fucking idiot. Okay, and your half brother, he really is, and he's dangerous to the future of Canada because he doesn't understand. Canada's going to get downgraded. In the global bond market, when Canada gets downgraded, we cannot fund ourselves, okay? And when we cannot fund ourselves, we fail as a country. And if we fail as a country, we will become the first G7 nation in the world to fail. And all of a sudden, our country becomes like Argentina. And you can't tell me that doesn't happen because my entire career has been spent by trading financial risk. And it happens quickly. And it really happens quickly when you have a CEO who says shit like the budget will balance itself and monetary policy doesn't matter. Tell your brother to fucking wake up. He's a fucking loser. And I can't say it in
like
a way.
have you seen anything? Have you heard Justin say anything unscripted and heartfelt in the last 2 years?
I have never seen if he has a heart at all, my friend.
So
I'm sorry,
I know he
you
has.
can
I
tell
know
that.
he has a heart, but like, have we seen everything that he's saying right now is coming off a teleprompter? So like, you know, like focusing, like he represents
A
the
puppet. He's then a
figurehead.
puppet. He's a puppet.
You said it. And
He's a drama teacher.
but like our key thing is like we need to show, like, criticize by creating and showing this unified Canada and not
So
feeding.
how can we do it?
this
How can we
feed.
do it, sir?
We're doing
You
it
let
right
me-
now. You've done.
I know. So I
doing it.
have to run, okay? Because I have a daughter who needs to do some stuff right now. But I love you guys for inviting me. I'd like to think more about this. I will tell you the interview you gave once again with that girl who realized the problem of her mainstream media affiliation and switched affiliations to a more free speech platform. Melanie, I think you said. It was beautiful, man. Okay? It's beautiful. And you were very diplomatic about your brother, more than I could be if I thought my brother was as conflicted as I think you think your brother is. He is a puppet in a World Economic Forum, a regime that is criminal at its source. And I think your brother's smarter than that, but I also think that he thinks that he got 100% of the vote for Canada when he only got 31%, right? And this is a big problem.
Only 31% of the 65% that voted.
Thank you.
So 21% of the total.
21% of
Correct.
The adult
potentially
population.
conscious, but most likely hypnotized people
Fair
and
enough.
old people, and we don't even know how many dead people
So-
are pets.
How about this, Kyle? Who do you know best of Jeff Booth or Ben Sessions? Do you know
Well,
either
I
of
know,
them at all?
I know Ben. Yeah, I've had
So why don't
lunch-
you just
had
reach
lunch
out with
him.
Ben tomorrow? Can you do that for me? And just try and coordinate this? Because look, again, I'm 58 years old. I don't understand how most of this stuff works. I do understand the value of Bitcoin. It is our only choice, our only hope. I speak to Pierre Poilievre frequently. Jeff Booth speaks to him all the time. Okay. We have an opportunity here to make a difference. And I don't know strategically. I'll talk to Jeff about bringing you on board, what that would do or what it wouldn't do. And I'm sure you're open to it, because we have to be real careful, right? Your family is a Canadian institution, or your half family is a Canadian institution. That's part of the problem, but it's also part of the reality. So, gentlemen, it's great meeting you. Sonny, I think we talked maybe a year and a half ago, probably, right?
It's been a while. You came on my show. So
I think I did.
Yeah,
I
so it's
think
nice
I did.
to
I
see you
remember
again.
it. It's a pleasure meeting all you guys. I thank you for the introduction and everything. I'm a concerned 58-year-old guy who's traded financial risk his whole life, and Canada is on the fucking edge, people. Okay. International investors are going to start flushing our bonds because our CEO is a fucking moron. Okay. I can't say it any other way. Our CEO is a moron. And I'm afraid to say it any other way, because you got to speak the truth. So good night, and God bless you. And Kyle, please talk to Ben tomorrow. It would be awesome to have you as part of our team.
Will do. Thank you very much,
Okay,
Greg.
thanks,
really
guys. Good
appreciate
night.
you jumping on the
Yeah.
immediacy
Yeah.
of being part of this. And I
It's
hope
so
you have a
cool.
wonderful night.
Well, I don't know who I was
Breathe.
talking to, but I'm going to look right here. I don't know all you guys. Corey, I'm not sure if I've spoken to any others of you. I did say, hey, one last thing. Hi from Quebec. I'm saying hi as well. Why did someone say Mogo on the little?
I don't know. There's so many comments. This is like, Kyle, we've never had so many comments.
know.
We've had
So
like two
Mogo,
max
just to
today.
let you know, my
What is-
former business partner was Mike Weckerly. Do you guys know who Mike Weck is?
No.
One of the greatest equity traders in Canada's history. He was on Dragon's Den. He was the guy who's all tatted up, and he looks like a rock star. He should be in a rock band. He owns the El Macombo in downtown Toronto. Weckerly is the largest shareholder in Mogo. So if someone can explain to me why you put Mogo in the commentary, I can go to the largest shareholder and tell him, hey, Weck, here's what we're going to do. Because Weck and I traded risk during the great financial crisis. So understand that there are contacts within this very smart web of Bitcoiners and alternative asset managers that can get shit done.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Mogo is one of the Bitcoin.
It's a platform. They got a lending
Bitcoin
platform, but
platform.
look,
They got
it's
a card.
lost its way. It's lost its way. It should have been 100% in Bitcoin. I tried to get them to buy 3IQ, Sonny. I tried to get Mogo to buy 3IQ. And now 3IQ is worth more than Mogo is. Okay.
They bought
So
CoinSquare. I used to work there.
CoinSquare is a piece of shit. Okay. It's a piece of shit because it was run by a fucking criminal.
Tell us how
That's
you
the
really
problem.
feel.
So I work. Why? Well, tell the truth.
I'm kidding.
Here's the thing. I work. Do you guys know who Mike Nazer is? Do you know who Mike Nazer
Mike
is?
Of course. Who doesn't?
Nazar. Okay. He works on my floor. We are giving him office space for free in downtown Toronto.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, I've been there. I know John and.
Okay, John, and yeah. So that floor, the 23rd floor of that entire tower, that's my company that owns that floor or rents that floor. Okay. Lots of cool things we can do. Just tell the truth and speak up. So sorry, I really, really got to run now.
Dude, have fun with your daughter. Thanks for joining us.
Okay.
Hey, Greg, we're going to be doing this on the regular. So any evening you're free, come on
All right.
with us. All right,
Sounds
take care,
good.
bud.
Just send
Greg,
me
really-
invites.
Much
Cheers.
appreciated.
Okay, boys.
Thanks,
Great
Greg.
to meet you. Good night.
Cheers.
All right,
Sonny,
Kyle.
Sonny, let's be gentle with the comments here.
Oh, whoops.
Anyways,
Should I just kill
it's
the
just-
comments?
well,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just, this is like,
there's
it's pretty
lots.
harsh.
You can highlight ones that are like, you know.
I'm sorry
are
about
cool,
that.
but
Yeah,
it-
no, I
it's all-
just thought
it's-
Greg would appreciate it.
It's all good. Yeah, I mean, and like you know, and this is fantastic. This-
By the way, how
this
did he get into this? Did you
Because-
invite him?
Yeah, I sent him the link on Twitter.
Ah, smart. Okay, cool. Now, I was
Right.
just like, how did you hop in here? Okay, cool. But
And
we can
I'll-
do up to 10. This is great, Kyle. We could be having some serious conversations on here.
I feels like we're having some serious conversations
Mm.
on
Democracy.
here.
Dude, there's
but
so
you
many
you see all how much anger there is, like, you know, and we got to be really careful, because when you get really angry about
Mhm.
things, you're giving up your power, and you're letting other people own you. So like, it's that, just be conscious about like recognizing that, yeah, there's major issues, but anger is not the place we want to do. We want to criticize by creating.
Exactly.
And that's what gets me really stoked about this Hong Kong HODL initiative. And, you know, maybe we should share the screen and show some QR codes there. And maybe we could do, actually, you know what we can do?
We did that
something,
though.
but we can keep doing it.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
until
for sure.
anybody pays them. And then once they get paid, it's like, paid. We just keep doing it.
I have a feeling people need to go to it though. You know why? Because I had such a hard time, even though I was on the website itself, to scan it.
Well, I mean, not if I do a pure Bitcoin address as opposed to a Lightning address.
Sure, yeah. I don't know why. Why is it so granular? Like you think it'd be a little bit chunkier.
All right, this next one is a $10 Canadian.
Let's see if one of our audience members will send some Bitcoin. Okay.
Or one of our panel members.
If you send Bitcoin, we will invite you onto this call right now, and we'll give you a virtual hug from Justin Trudeau's handsomer brother, Kyle. I would get Antoine to do it, but he'd have to ask his girlfriend.
Oh, Sonny.
Come on, we got to keep this light. Come on, it's getting too serious. Greg brought that energy. We got to bring it back. Okay, we should use Dogecoin. Look at this guy. This is awesome. I love this comment.
Yeah, we should definitely. I mean, with like Dogecoin also is a community of giving. Dogecoin is a community of giving. It rules.
Look at what someone said. Stay. This is Raj again. Stay live. People are looking for this because it's more authentic. I think it's more real, Kyle. I think it's more like genuine, and it's so much easier. We don't have to plan anything. We should just do this every night. You guys in or what?
I mean,
this is too much fun.
I'm down. Fortunately, I think that's it for me.
Kyle looks like the Cheech and Chong film, not Hasbro Pink Panther. What? Dude, these comments are random. Like, what are people saying? Okay, are we done for the day, Kyle?
I gotta go.
We have families and shit.
My family's just got back. This is great.
You're more than just your brother's brother.
Yeah. No, he's dead.
I hope we can set up a funding account and multi-sig it and just go from there.
Well, it seems like it's already been done.
The Hong Kong.
Okay, well, we can use this, I suppose.
I mean,
for now. I mean, we just talked
let's channel efforts towards supporting this, and like let's get this thing to move.
Well, I think there should be like a better web page for it, just like look a little bit like more attractive, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, but for now, like this web page is.
I mean, for that project, not for a new one.
For this project, I think there's like more that can go onto it, and the nice thing is, I'm sure they can update it. But it's really. I think it serves what it needs to. It's got the bar. It's got on-chain transaction. It's got. It's got Lightning or on-chain. That
just needs to look a little bit more legit. That probably.
Yeah. I mean, I think like they should have a video here. We should like take lessons from like Patreon, etc. Like how we do this and have a little bit more. But I think this is a really great place to start, and I think this is the magic. This is the magic of where we're at right now. Is like, okay, you want to donate, and the cool thing is like. Just as the hack, if you say $1 or 50 cents, or if you don't say, maybe if you say nothing, and then you go on chain, it says please enter an amount.
You have to put a number, obviously, right?
But I mean, if I put $1 on here, and then I say on chain, and then if someone donates a Bitcoin to this, I wonder what happens. Like, does this address work for everybody, or is it or does it have to be that exact amount? I don't know.
I'm not sure either.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
What
happens?
Good point. This is for $1.
No. Lightning. This is not Lightning, right? This is just a Bitcoin address, and it should be fine. But if it's a Lightning address, there's like something called an invoice.
Do a test. See what happens.
If you scan it with your wallet, it'll I think auto
populate it. Okay, got it. Makes sense.
So it's
Interesting.
just kind of like a
I'm-
quick
I'm-
scan.
Guys, I'm
I'll let you
out.
go.
I love you all.
right, Kyle.
I'm on. You keep going if you guys want. I'm done.
Oh yeah. I mean, we
All right,
can
later.
definitely set up like.
Okay, we'll let Kyle go. We can bring this to a close as well
yeah,
if
sounds
there's
good,
not
sounds
much more. But thanks, guys, for joining. We're probably, like I said, we're probably gonna do
Bring
this
back
on the
Kyle.
regular, and we'll bring you guys back. Any closing remarks, Corey? John Mark? Yeah, go ahead,
The
Corey.
last thing I would say is I'm just glad that we took action and actually found something that's going to work going forward to utilize their capital. It's kind of cool meeting the guy that is kind of organizing this, right? And if he's open to doing
Look at that. We just
multi-sig,
got Justin's brother. We got the guy who made or helped make this Bitcoin thing on the call. Like in 2
Yeah.
hours, we had like the most productive call ever.
exactly. And it seems like the only disconnect between that fundraiser that's going on with Bitcoin is that just nobody really knows about it, and nobody really knows that that's kind of the official crypto wallet to send money to. Because I looked at their Twitter, right, and it said 700 followers. Like, man,
Yeah,
if
it's
we
kind of
get
a
that-
niche thing, right? Well, I would say, like, I agree with Kyle that because they've already done it, we definitely should like help them and support them. But I also like Antoine's energy around like, let's also build parallel systems, because who knows, that gets taken down or the website goes down or
Well, yeah, and
whatever,
also,
right? Or maybe like Greg had like a certain viewpoint about how they wanted to spend it. If you that's the beauty of Bitcoin. Anybody can anybody listening to this can just go build a platform and start raising money for the truckers. It's not like we're like the only conduit that can.
and we need some QR codes for other currencies as well. Dogecoin, Ethereum. Yeah.
Well, someone proposed some ways to do that with MetaMask and Trezor wallets and all that, right? So I think it'd be interesting, and I feel like your idea, Antoine, about making just something nicer, something prettier as well. Why not? But we should definitely keep pushing on all cylinders. I think it's pretty.
Yeah,
exciting.
no, let's just add to the existing one, right?
Yeah, why not? Why not? More the merrier. Yeah, sorry, Corey, you were gonna say something?
Well, I was just gonna say, like, there's never been really a more timely time to make this happen, right? With the news of the GoFundMe going down today, I've been thinking about this for a couple of days and just being like, wow, it's such a vulnerability to have multi-millions of dollars just being sent to this stupid centralized organization. So, I guess the cookies have crumbled, and it's up to the people that just build things back together, and hopefully we can do it in a better way.
You guys are all in Toronto. Like I said, I'm preparing. I'm not taking my family this time, so I'm preparing a convoy on Saturday. I already got Jesse. Antoine's on the fence. We talked about that, Antoine, right? Antoine, you're coming, buddy. You're coming. So Jean-Marc, Corey, if you guys want to hop in, I got a 7-seater, so we can make our way there.
I was thinking of going down.
I'm leaving Saturday morning, 10 a.m. There's like a location here in Toronto where the convoy is getting together. So anyways, I can ping you guys about it if you're interested or whatever.
So you would have to go all the way down to the Mississauga or whatever? You're coming.
Sure, man. Yeah, I don't even know the details. I was there last weekend. We're probably gonna go again. Let's bring this live stream to a close though. Let me at least end because we're anyways, yeah, I think that's enough here. Just give me 2 seconds.